Good evening, good afternoon, or good morning, depending on where you are around the world. I am Marcus Holmes, the facilitator of the Love and Stuff community, and we are live bringing you yet another Black History Month moment. We have been bringing moments all month long in celebration of the contributions of African Americans and persons of African descent to this melting pot we call the United States of America. And so we are celebrating the struggle, the sacrifice, the brilliance, the intelligence, the indomitable spirit of many individuals, too many to enumerate in 28 days. But certainly we want to laud and reflect and celebrate the accomplishments of great men and women to our collective. And so this week we have been looking at public figures. The last 2 days we looked at politicians as public figures. Today, as a public figure, we're going to look at a great humanitarian soul, actress and model and icon, Miss Cicely Tyson. And so I'm going to begin first by thanking you and asking you to drop in the comments wherever you are. If you are on Facebook, on the Marcus R. Holmes page, or on the Love and Stuff page from which we are springboarding tonight, or you with us via Restream on LinkedIn Live, on Twitch TV, or YouTube events, just drop in the comments where you are and who you are and any memory that you have of Miss Cicely Tyson. And we will just scan the comments as we move forward. But I'm going to begin with reading an excerpt of the foreword that was written by the award-winning actress Viola Davis for Miss Cicely Tyson's book, which was published just a very short period before she made her transition last month. And so I want to ensure that everybody has the opportunity first to drop in the comments wherever you are. I'm looking across platforms and want to just give you a chance to do that. And we might share some of those comments on screen. So if you can drop those in the comments. And then I'm going to go into reading the foreword. So I wanted to give you an opportunity. Thank you for joining us wherever you are joining us from. I appreciate it. And I hope that you will click share and tag some folks to join in this Black History Month moment. This week, we're highlighting public figures. We are looking at politicians, celebrities, those who've achieved celebrity, and pastors and preachers. So we have a couple of more days left in the week, and today we are highlighting the work and life of Miss Cicely Tyson, who you may all know has recently made her transition. So I'm going to read from her book that was recently published, the foreword from Miss Viola Davis. I may do some excerpts and then go into a little bit more of the history, some of which may be new or some of which you may already know. And so I'm going to go into that foreword of her now. I apologize. One other moment of business. I wanted to take a moment to offer our prayers and condolence for those that lost their lives in the horrible storm that is happening out west in Texas. And we'll just take a moment of silence for those families and loved ones who have been impacted. May we have a moment of silence. Thank you so much. And may you join with me in reminding Texans, do not forget how leadership treats the least of these during this event, during this time of storm. Leadership does indeed matter. And make sure that when you get back to the voting booth, that you remind leaders or that you hold leaders accountable for how they have responded to the least of these. Power isn't so powerful that you can wield and do anything you want. Power is powerful when you wield it to do good for the least of these. And so I want to remind Texans, do not forget when you get to November, when you get to the ballot box, how leaders have responded to you during this crisis. Okay, I had to say that. Okay, so I am going to go into the reading. And this is again the foreword A Mighty Seed by Viola Davis. I was introduced to Miss Tyson on a television set in my family's dilapidated apartment in Central Falls, Rhode Island. Oddly, it was a television that rested upon another broken one, a set with aluminum foil on its antenna for better reception. My sisters Delora and Diane sat beside me, cross-legged in front of the screen, and together we witnessed magic, an image that changed my life at the tender age of 7. There was Miss Tyson in the autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman, a made-for-TV movie based on the novel by Ernest J. Gaines. In the 1974 film, 110-year-old Jane Pittman reflects on her life from her enslavement in her early 20s to the day nearly a century later where she defies Jim Crow by sipping from a whites-only water fountain. I couldn't believe the same actress had played both the young woman and the elder one, but Dolores insisted she had. I stared at my sister and then back at the screen, marveling at Miss Tyson's mastery of her craft, the brilliance with which she had transformed herself. It planted in me a seed that immediately took root. She was the manifestation of excellence and artistry, a dark-skinned, thick-lipped woman who truly mirrored me. I can pinpoint the exact moment when my life opened up, and it was there, in front of that set, that mine did. With one mesmerizing performance, with one gorgeously poignant rendering of her character, Miss Tyson gave me permission to dream. I was no stranger to the wonder of dreams. For most of my life, dreams were all my siblings and I had. I was born in 1965 in a one-room sharecropper shack on a plantation in South Carolina. My father was illiterate and my mother had only an 8th grade education. Desperate to support my siblings and me, my parents moved us north. My father was an equestrian who groomed horses and prepared them for racing. And in Rhode Island, he found work. We settled in Central Falls, a mill town with a single square mile in size. Though my father did all he could to piece together a living for us, we still lived in abject poverty on society's lowest rung. Our deprivation far exceeded the financial. We were the only Black family in a town of white Irish Catholics, a family with no sense of ourselves other than as invisible. There was no foundation of self-love or worth for us, no pathway to any kind of achievement. We settled for a time at 128 Washington Street, or 128, as my sisters and I referred to it. That condemned building represented exactly how the world felt about us. It was the demon that sat on my chest during those years, the devil that still hangs over me as a painful memory of the trauma. Our 3rd floor, rat-infested apartment lacked heat, plumbing, and hot water because the pipes froze during the harsh New England winters. There was a single room with electricity, and from that room, a long cord stretched to connect us to the outside world through that foiled antenna television. It was on that screen in 128 that Miss Tyson flickered into my world. In Miss Tyson, I saw a dark-skinned woman with the same fro as my mother, an artist who carried herself with pride and poise. I was more than entertained by the story of Jane Pittman's life. I was mesmerized by Miss Tyson's ability to transport me from my world to hers, to a place where I didn't have to wade through garbage bins in search of food covered in maggots, a place where the demon on my chest disappeared for a time. Even as a child, I knew I wanted more than 128, wanted more than the rat-infested existence we endured. Watching Jane Pittman, I saw my ticket out of poverty and shame. And that is an excerpt of the foreword written by Viola Davis for Miss Sicily Tyson's book, Just As I Am. You should purchase that book. I get no, Love and Stuff gets no benefit off your purchase, but you should certainly purchase that book. And now we will share with you some of the history of Miss Tyson. Absolutely could fill up volumes, and certainly some of which is in her autobiographical account. Sicily Tyson, born December 19th, 1924, was an American actress and fashion model. In a career spanning more than 7 decades, she became known for her portrayal of strong African American women. Tyson received 3 Primetime Emmy Awards, 4 Black Reel Awards, 1 Screen Actors Guild Award, 1 Tony Award, an Honorary Academy Award, and a Peabody Award, among many other awards. Having appeared in minor film and television roles early in her career, Tyson garnered widespread attention and critical acclaim for her performance as Rebecca Morgan in Sounder, 1972. She was nominated for both the Academy Award for Best Actress and Golden Globe Award for Best Actress in a Motion Picture Drama for her work in the film. Tyson's portrayal of the title role in the 1974 television film, The Autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman, based on the book of Ernest Gaines, won her further praise. Among other accolades, the role won her 2 Emmy Awards and a nomination for a BAFTA Award for Best Actress in a Leading Role. Tyson continued to act in film and on television in the 20th century. She played all types of roles, some which we will enunciate a little later. In addition to her screen career, she appeared in various theater productions, and we'll enunciate some of those later as well. She also received the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is the highest civilian honor in the United States, in November 2016, and in 2020 was inducted into the Television Hall of Fame. She was born in East Harlem on December 19th, the daughter of Frederica Huggins Tyson, a domestic worker, and William Augustine Tyson, who worked as a carpenter and painter. She was one of 3 children. Her parents were immigrants from Nevis in the West Indies. Her father arrived in New York at age 21 and was processed at Ellis Island on August 4th, 1919. Tyson grew up in a religious atmosphere. She sang in the choir and attended prayer meetings at an Episcopal church in East Harlem. Tyson's mother was opposed to her becoming an actress and would not speak to her for a time. She later changed her mind after seeing the power and work and witness of Miss Sicily on stage. She was discovered by a photographer for Ebony magazine and became a successful fashion model. Her first acting role was on the NBC television series Frontiers of Faith in 1951. Tyson played her first film role in Carib Gold in 1956. She held small roles in the 1959 films Odd Against Tomorrow and The Last Angry Man. Her first stage performance was in Vinette Carroll's production of Dark of the Moon at the Harlem YMCA in 1958. In the early 1960s, Tyson appeared in the original cast of French playwright Jean Genet's The Blacks. She played the role of Stephanie Virtue's secret Rose Diop. Other notable cast members included Maya Angelou, James Earl Jones, Godfrey Cambridge, Louis Gossett Jr., and Charles Gordon. The show was the longest running off-Broadway non-musical of the decade, running for 1,408 performances. She won the 1961-1962 Vernon Rice Award, later known as the Drama Desk Award, for her performance in another off-Broadway production, Moon on a Rainbow Shawl. Tyson, who once worked for a social services agency, was spotted by producer David Susskind in The Black Sun Tiger, Burning Bright, and was cast for a role in the CBS TV series East Side, West Side, 1963 to 1964, playing the secretary of a social worker, played by George C. Scott. She was at the time the only African-American regular member of a TV cast. The show was noted for its treatment of social issues, and one of its episodes on an African-American couple in Harlem was blacked out in Atlanta and Shreveport, Louisiana. In the mid-1960s, she had a recurring role in the soap opera The Guiding Light. She appeared with Sammy Davis Jr. in the film A Man Called Adam, 1966, and starred in the film version of The Comedians, 1967, which was based on the Graham Greene novel. In 1968, Tyson had a featured role in The Heart is a Lonely Hunter. In 1972, Tyson played the role of Rebecca Morgan in the film Sounder. She was nominated for both the Academy Award and Golden Globe Award, and also won the NSFC Best Actress Award. In 1974, Ms. Tyson played the title role in the television film, The Autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman. Tyson's portrayal of a centenarian Black woman's life from slavery until her death before the Civil Rights Movement won her the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actress. Tyson was also nominated for a BAFTA for Best Lead Actress in the Leading Role for her work on that show as well. Tyson's television roles include Binta in the 1977 miniseries Roots, for which she was nominated for a Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actress, Miniseries, or Movie. Coretta Scott King in the 1978 miniseries King, for which she was nominated for a Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actress, Miniseries, or Movie. Marva Collins in the 1981 television film The Marva Collins Story, for which she received an NAACP Image Award for Outstanding Actress in a Television Movie, Miniseries, or Drama Special, and was nominated for a Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actress, Miniseries, or Movie, and Muriel in the 1986 television film Samaritan, The Mitch Snyder Story, for which she received an NAACP Image Award for Outstanding Actress in a Television Movie, Miniseries, or Dramatic Special. In 1989, Tyson appeared in the television miniseries The Woman of Brewster Place. In 1991, she appeared in Fried Green Tomatoes as Sipsy. In the 1994-95 television series Sweet Justice, Tyson portrayed a civil rights activist and attorney named Carrie Grace Battle, a character she modeled after Washington, D.C. civil rights and criminal defense lawyer Dovie Johnson Roundtree. Her other notable film roles include dramas Hoodlum, 1997, and A Diary of a Mad Black Woman, 2005, and the television films Oldest Living Confederate Widow Tells All, 1994, for which she received her third Emmy Award, and A Lesson Before Dying, 1999. In 2005, Tyson co-starred in Because of Winnie, Dixie. In 2010, Tyson appeared in Why Do I Get Married Too? And narrated the Paul Robeson award-winning documentary Up from the Bottoms, The Search for the American Dream. In 2011, Tyson appeared in her first music video in Willow Smith's 21st Century Girl. That same year, she played Constantine Jefferson, a maid in Jackson, Mississippi, in the critically acclaimed period drama The Help. Set in the backdrop of the Civil Rights Movement, the film won the Broadcast Films Critics Association Award for Best Acting Ensemble and the Screen Actors Guild Award for Outstanding Performance by a Cast in a Motion Picture. At the 67th Tony Awards on June 9, 2013, Tyson won the Tony Award for Best Actress in a Play for her performance as Miss Carrie Watts in The Trip to Bountiful. Upon winning, the 88-year-old actress became the oldest recipient of the Best Actress Tony Award. She also won the Drama Desk Award for Outstanding Actress in a Play and the Outer Critics Circle Award for Outstanding Actress in a Play for the same role. In 2013, Tyson played a supporting role in the horror film The Haunting in Connecticut 2, Ghost of Georgia. Beginning in 2014, Tyson guest starred on How to Get Away with Murder as Ophelia Harkness, the mother of main character Annalise Keating, Miss Viola Davis. For this role, she was nominated for a Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Guest Actress in a Drama Series in 2015, 2017, 2018, 2019, and 2020. In 2020, she was in the popular movie A Fall from Grace, featured on Netflix. There are so many awards. I really do want to read them all. In addition to her Screen Actor Guild Award, her Tony Award, her Emmy Awards, her Black Reel Awards, she received several other awards. In 1977, she was inducted into the Black Filmmakers Hall of Fame. In 1980, she received the Golden Plate Award of the American Academy of Achievement. In 1982, Tyson was awarded the Women in Film Crystal Award. The award is given to outstanding women who, through their endurance and the excellence of their work, have helped to expand the role of women within the entertainment industry. In 1988, Tyson received a Candace Award for Distinguished Service from the National Coalition of 100 Black Women. In 1997, she received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. In 2005, Tyson was honored at Oprah Winfrey's Legend Ball. She was also honored by the Congress of Racial Equality, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, and the National Council of Negro Women. She was awarded the NAACP's 2010 Spring Iron Award for her contribution to the entertainment industry, her modeling career, and her support of civil rights. She was a recipient of the Kennedy Center Honors. As mentioned, the Presidential Freedom Award, the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences. She received the Academy Honoraria Award, Lifetime Achievement Award. She became the first African-American woman to receive an honorary Oscar. She was inducted in 2018 into the American Theater Hall of Fame. One of 12 sound stages was named after Ms. Tyson in her honor at Tyler Perry Studios, and she was chosen to be inducted into the Television Academy's Hall of Fame in 2020. She has been bestowed honorary degrees from Clark Atlanta University, Columbia University, Howard University, and Morehouse College, which, as you may know, is an all-male historically Black college. The Sicily Tyson School of Performing and Fine Arts, a magnet school in East Orange, Jersey, was named in her honor in 2009. So many awards, and a few of them, again, I am just leaving out, but there are just a number of awards, and I just wanted to speak those awards in alignment with her name and her honor. Such a legendary and great career. Tyson had a daughter when she was 17 years old. At age 18, Tyson married Kenneth Franklin on December 27, 1942. According to her divorce decree, her husband abandoned her after less than 18 months of marriage. The marriage was formally dissolved in 1956. Tyson began dating jazz trumpeter Miles Davis in the 1960s when he was in the process of divorcing dancer Frances Davis. Davis used a photo of Tyson for his 1967 album Sorcerer. Davis told the press in 1967 that he intended to marry Tyson in March of 1968 after his divorce was finalized, but he married singer Betty Davis that September. Tyson and Davis rekindled their relationship in 1978. They were married on November 26, 1981, in a ceremony conducted by Atlanta Mayor Andrew Young at the home of actor Bill Cosby. Their marriage was tumultuous due to many different things, violent tempers and infidelity. Davis credited Tyson with saving his life and helping him overcome his drug addiction. They lived in Malibu, California, and in New York City, and she filed for divorce in 1988, excuse me. Their divorce was finalized in 1989, 2 years before Davis passed away in 1991. Tyson was godmother to the singer Lenny Kravitz, having been longtime friends with his mother, actress Roxy Roker, as well as to Denzel Washington's daughter, Katia, and Tyler Perry's son, Amon. Tyson was an honorary member of Delta Sigma Theta sorority. She was a vegetarian. I am going to go back to read a bit from her memoir, her autobiography, from the foreword written by Viola Davis, and I trust that you will purchase the book. I think it's a great read. I am in the process of reading it, but so far it's a great read. So I invite you to do that. Miss Tyson, Miss Viola Davis writes, the daughter of immigrants had herself risen out of poverty and onto the global stage. In her journey, I glimpsed possibilities for my own. For hours in our bedroom, my sisters and I would try to imitate everything about Miss Tyson. Her piercing gaze, those eyes brimming with memory and emotion, the way she held her jaw, how she so fully embodied her characters. By the time I was 14, I was so intent on following in her path that I took a bus to an acting class 2 hours away since my family didn't have a car. There I was, a complete geek in my gaucho pants and my purple mascara, doing all I could to imbue my characters with the empathy Miss Tyson brought to her portrayals. I wanted to be exceptional at my craft, and more than anything, I wanted to be like her. Before I knew of her, Miss Tyson had already made a name for herself as an accomplished actor, engraving our narratives into the storybook of the world. For 6 decades, Miss Tyson has shown us who we are: vulnerable, magnificent, pain-ridden, and beautifully human. Time and time again, she has put our humanity on display, never compromising her dignity while creating a new chapter in Black history. In 1963, during the filming of the series East Side, West Side, she arrived on set rocking her fro, becoming the first Black woman to wear her natural hair on TV. Yet terms like trailblazer and pioneer don't fully capture what she means to so many of us who looked up to her as the epitome of Black strength. Miss Tyson is the master truth teller, a warrior with fierce courage and supreme artistry, her instrument precisely tuned to tell stories that capture our being. Over the years, I've held close Miss Tyson's brave spirit as I've admired her work from afar. Then, in 2011, on the set of The Help, I finally met my muse. There before me on a muggy afternoon in Mississippi stood the divine giver of gifts, the legend who had inspired me to act. I embraced her, tears spilling from my eyes as I stammered through a flurry of thank yous, none of them conveying the depth of my gratitude. We had no scenes together in the movie, and I wasn't on set when Miss Tyson filmed her segments as Constantine. But the director, Tate Taylor, recalled the dedication she brought to her work. She showed up on set in character and remained that way, insisting that she be called Constantine at all times. That's just who Miss Tyson is, excellence personified. Toward the end of 2014, I asked my role model to play Ophelia, the mother of my character, Annalise, on the ABC series How to Get Away with Murder. In life, Miss Tyson had nurtured and mentored me. On the set, she would do the same. though in a way that initially caught me off guard. She just turned 90 years old then, and she strode in already steeped in the tense history between mother and daughter. As she entered, I stood there with an enormous smile on my face and my arms outstretched to hug her. She marched right past me, reprimanding me with her stern expression, a mother putting a child in her place. She knew that if she'd broken the moment by stepping out of character, her portrayal wouldn't be the same. Faced with that wall, I laughed and thought, well, maybe I need to get working. During our scenes in Murder, I experienced her ingenuity up close. With just her demeanor, with those lucid and revealing eyes, with traces of pain on her brow, Miss Tyson often took viewers someplace you can only go if you've been there. That is because she does not simply act. She bears every corner of her soul. And in so doing, she accomplishes what all great art does. She makes us feel less alone. A few years later, when Miss Tyson heard I'd been nominated for an Academy Award for Fences, she called to congratulate me. I clutched the phone, giddy like the 7-year-old I'd been watching her play Jane Pittman all those winters ago. I know the road you're on, she told me. By that, she meant she understood that the world that a dark-skinned actress not seen as conventionally beautiful was navigating. She knew the barriers in the industry, all the ways, explicit and covert, that someone with my nose and lips and my hair is told she isn't enough. She was aware of how we Black women are expected to water down our complexity, how our pathology is seldom allowed exposure within the narratives written for us. She had confronted those obstacles. At the end of our call, she urged me to relish the path ahead, the accolades, all of it. Just as she'd once granted me permission to dream, she now nudged me to delight in the bounty. Here she was, offering me another gem, this time as a wise ally, lifting her lantern to light my way. This book is Miss Tyson's abundant treasure to each of us. Her life, her words, just as she is. She shares truths usually whispered between sisters and close friends in the dim light of a back bedroom. Those candid declarations not often spoken aloud. And she tells her story the way only a Black woman can, in all of its dazzling authenticity, heels off and voice undulating, shifting between anguish and exuberance. The art of acting is the art of exposing an emotional unveiling before others. Miss Tyson, as revelatory on these pages as she has been on the stage. She is not just the performer who has so deftly captured the breadth of the human experience with all of its unslicked edges. She is Sicily the woman, someone who has grappled with the fears and fragilities many of us carry. And during a season when so much in our culture is changed so quickly, she has now blessed us with a timeless jewel, her written legacy. And what a heritage it is. One not gauged by her number of extraordinary roles, but by the countless lives, like my own, that she has lifted. You'll never see a U-Haul behind a hearse, Denzel Washington often said as we worked together on Fences. I don't care how much money you have or what level of notoriety you've achieved, you can't take any of it with you. There is a cap on earthly success, a ceiling on the amount of joy that possessions and awards can bring before disillusionment sets in. Our appearance, our prosperity, the applause, all of it is so fleeting. But a life of true significance has unlimited impact. It is measured in how well we've loved those around us, how much we've given away, how many seeds we've sown along our path. During her 96 years, Ms. Tyson has discovered the potent elixir. She has lived a life that is bigger than she is, an existence grounded in purpose and flourishing in service to others. That is her defining masterpiece. That is her enduring gift to us all. And that was the foreword in its entirety from Miss Viola Davis for Miss Sicily Tyson's book that I encourage you to purchase. Sicily Tyson passed away on January 28th, 2021, at the age of 96. There are, again, as I mentioned, so many awards, some of which I mentioned, a number of them that I mentioned. And having won all of those awards, Ms. Tyson still remained humble and still remained gracious. And among the many lessons that we can all learn, that whatever you achieve, you should remain gracious and remain humble. I'm so grateful that you've tuned in for this Black History Moment. Join us tomorrow. We will continue our look at public figures at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're here every day through the end of the month. And on February 28th, a great culmination that Sunday evening at 6:00 p.m. You don't want to miss that. That will be live on the Love and Stuff page, restreamed on these platforms that you're watching now. And we'd love to have you join us. And on Friday, we will on Friday also have another event, which is a replay of Love's Alive. If you missed that, we will have that replay on Friday evening. And so our Black History Moment will happen at 6:00 p.m. on Friday. And then at 7:00, Love's Alive, which is a replay from our Sunday Valentine's event. I think it is worth watching, and I hope that you will join me there. You can go to the Love and Stuff page and register for that event. Thank you so much. I hope you will click share and invite others to join us on this journey of Black History Month moments. I'm Marcus Holmes, and have a great evening.